What's up, everyone? It's your buddy Jayrassic, and I'm hoping that you're having the best day of your entire life today. And today is a great day because we are coming back to you into the Omaha Zoo. So welcome back to the channel. And if you're a first-time viewer, make sure you subscribe if you like this type of stuff because, well, you know what? We got a lot of other type of content that's out there on the channel that's also coming up, which includes some DLC predictions as well as some new projects that are coming out right around the corner and so forth. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Jay, we need more Omaha Zoo," and you're right, we do. And I'm so sorry because I haven't touched the zoo in a whole week, so we need to rectify that. We really do. So like after we do this voiceover and everything, I'm gonna be going into the zoo for the first time in over a week due to the fact that we've been doing a whole new project, which I'm so excited about, and I wish I could talk more about it, of what it's all entailed and everything like that. But unfortunately, me and I, alongside with everyone that's involved with it, decided that we're going to kind of keep it hush-hush for a little while until we get more built into it and so forth. So, we're really excited to announce this whole new series with this collab and everything like that. So I do apologize for not getting as much Omaha Zoo in there. And of course, we got the new series with the Reptile Gardens as well, which is a fun little roadside zoo that I absolutely love. Now, today, we're actually not really going to be building any zoo buildings or scenery, or basically we're building a baseball stadium. That's right, it's a baseball stadium. It's called the Infield at the Zoo in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's a tribute to the Rosenblatt Stadium which previously stood where it is currently. So to kind of give you a little bit of history of the Rosenblatt Stadium. Yep, here we go. Jayrassic with another history lesson. So hang tight, here we go. So the Johnny Rosenblatt Stadium was a baseball stadium in Omaha, Nebraska, the former home of the annual NCAA Division and College World Series and the minor league Omaha Royals, now known as the Omaha Storm Chasers. Rosenblatt Stadium was the largest minor league baseball stadium in the United States until it's demolished. The Solon Field now holds the current record. The final College World Series game at the Rosenblatt Stadium was played on June 29, 2010. The final game for the Royals in the stadium and under the Royals name was played on September 2nd, 2010, with the Royals defeating the Round Rock Express. The Omaha Nighthawks played their 2010 season at the Rosenblatt Stadium, and following those events, Rosenblatt Stadium was eventually replaced by the TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha, which is downtown. The Rosenblatt Stadium began renovations in late July after being reopened during the 2012 College World Series for fans to visit again. The press box girders were imploded in the morning of August 22, 2012, and reconstruction of the Rosenblatt and Playground Escu form began in March 2013 and was officially opened by Mayor Jim Suttle on June 7, 2013. The site is currently owned by the Omaha Henry Doorly Zoo. So for some professional baseball buffs out there, we got a little professional baseball history with this particular stadium. The stadium was built in 1947 and was ready to host the Single-A Omaha Cardinals in 1948 season. The St. Louis Cardinals, which was currently just a farm team at the time, and also became a professional baseball team, originally called Omaha its home. Over the next few years, Rosenblatt hosted several different teams. In 1969, the Kansas City Royals moved their AAA franchise here, which played at Rosenblatt through the 2010 season. In 1964, the stadium was renamed to honor the former Omaha Mayor Johnny Rosenblatt, who was instrumental in bringing professional baseball as well as the College World Series to Omaha. The Rosenblatt College Series history, basically from 1950 to 2010, the stadium was home to the College World Series. After initial contracts between the NCAA and the City of Omaha expired, the parties quickly agreed to renew. Currently, the NCAA and the City of Omaha agreed to continue hosting the Men's College World Series in Omaha through the 2035 season. The South Carolina Gamecocks won the last College World Series in the stadium. Due to the growth in the event, the City of Omaha devoted resources to the stadium to accommodate teams and fans. In 2001, for example, more than $7 million was spent on the stadium for renovations. One of the major additions was 10,000 new seats, bringing the total capacity to 23,145. The record for most consecutive sellouts at Rosenblatt stands at 82 consecutive games in 2002. The College World Series surpassed the 5 million spectator mark in an all-time attendance. In 1999, the local event organizers, the College World Series of Omaha Incorporated, placed the sculpture Road to Omaha in front of the main entrance. It was created by a local Omaha artist, John, and I'm going to totally slaughter this name, Lajba. The sculpture showed three players celebrating by lifting one of their teammates in the air. One of the players whose likeness was used was to create this statue is the current University of Virginia head coach Brian O'Connor. O'Connor is a native of the Council Bluffs, Iowa, and was a CWS participant as a pitcher for Crichton in '91, as an assistant in Notre Dame in 2002, and with Virginia as their head coach in 2009 to 2011. With the anticipated opening of TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha in 2011, the College World Series moved to this new stadium and renamed the Storm Chasers, moved to the Werner Park in Sarpy County. Although the stadium size was not an issue for the College World Series, expansions over the years made it too large for a AAA team. In its final configuration, it had over 5,000 more seats than the next largest stadium, which is currently the Buffalo Solon Field. The Royals struggled for years to fill it for regular season games. In the stadium's final years, the capacity was reduced to 8,500 for Royal games. During the CWS, the Royals were forced to go on extended road trips for much of June. There was discussion back in 2003 of building a separate venue for the Royals, which could have also been shared by the Crichton University and or the University of Nebraska at Omaha. So, the Royals president and part owner Alan Stein stated that he would be willing to invest $10 million into the new 7,500-seat stadium for the Royals, although the initial plans called for TD Ameritrade Park to be reduced to 12,000 seats for the Royal games. Stein said that that would not be a viable alternative, presumably because the Royals would still have to go on extended road trips in June during CWS. The Royals believe that a smaller, more intimate stadium would double annual attendance up to 500,000 to 600,000, according to Stein. The increase would have been unlikely at either Rosenblatt or a large downtown stadium. The Royals had named multiple other cities at whom they discussed stadium relocation, but decided to stay in Greater Omaha with the construction of the Werner Park in Sarpy County. Now, there was a lot of efforts to save the Rosenblatt Stadium. In May of 2007, the grassroots organization called Save Rosenblatt tried to save the stadium for the use by the College World Series. They aired several TV commercials with the actor Kevin Costner and proposed architectural plans for renovations of Rosenblatt. The group also created several informational websites. The group was composed primarily of governmental spending critics and homeowners near Rosenblatt Stadium who stood to lose money from the loss of the proximity of the College World Series. The members of Save Rosenblatt believe that the Rosenblatt Stadium should be retained and enhanced, saying that CWS and the city of Omaha would have been better served by a remodel of Rosenblatt and modified area around the stadium. However, in 2007-2008, after nearly 5 months of deliberation, Omaha Mayor Mike Fahey and the stadium committee made a public recommendation for a new downtown stadium. This proposal included a plan for the demolition of the Rosenblatt Stadium, and many citizens of the South Omaha responded with disappointment and frustration over the lack of the public participation in the project planning and lack of public vote on a multi-million-dollar project. Other concerns focused on financing and certainty of the construction costs of the new stadium. In response, fans have begun the movement to build an online museum of the Rosenblatt Stadium. On April 30th, 2009, the city and the NCAA agreed on a memorandum of understanding, outlining a preliminary agreement to keep the World Series in Omaha for another 25 years through 2035. This agreement stipulated that the series be moved to the new downtown stadium by 2011. So in 2010, the Omaha Henry Zoo actually purchased the Rosenblatt Stadium and actually still held some public events. They include like tractor pulls, some minor league stuff. So the zoo was still active within the community within the stadium. However, after 2011, after the new stadium opened, basically, they began renovations. They actually decided to tear it down. And in June of 2013, the zoo unveiled the tribute to the stadium, Rosenblatt Park. which we're building right now. So there's a little bit of history of the Rosenblatt. Now this was a very fun build for the most part. I actually built it twice because not of my own doing this time. I swear it was not my own doing this time. But what happened was I used this blueprint when making the parking lot, and there was this very nice sports car. At least I'm pretty sure it's a sports car that caused this. And I used several other different blueprint vehicles because I can't make cars. I try. I just cannot make cars. So I used the ones off the workshop. And this workshop, it was a very nice red Ferrari that is made out of wood pieces. Well, unknown to me at this time, and I actually did know that this was a bug within Planet Zoo, but I completely ignored it or forgot about it and placed this car alongside with the other vehicles that may or may not have been made with wood pieces throughout the zoo. This caused a very high piece count within my zoo already, just in the parking lot area. In fact, I had it before it finally crashed on me and will not open anymore. I actually even reduced some of the pieces just to kind of create some better game performance. Nonetheless, after saving it and going in the next day, it just won't open. It just keeps crashing. So I have a feeling until Frontier goes ahead and fix that bug about the wood pieces, it's going to be unrecoverable, which is not a horrible loss because all it is a parking lot and the stadium. However, I will say that my first rendition of the stadium was way better than what I'm doing right now. In fact, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, what I'm doing right now with this whole Rosenblatt sign, it was so much easier to do in the first rendition than the second one. And nonetheless, I will say I struggled a little bit with this one. I don't know why, but I guess for whatever reason, I don't know if maybe it was wider or whatever, but I just had a little struggle with it. And also angling letters, apparently I do not have the mental capacity to be able to do that. So to me it looks a little off. But other than that, I think it still captures the aspect. The other thing that I was able to do in the first rendition that for whatever reason I couldn't do in this one is I forgot that the backside of the Rosenblatt Stadium is level with the parking lot, and it's kind of like a tiered level. Like the front area, there's the parking lot, and then the parking lot kind of slopes down behind it. And I kind of forgot about that while I was building it. And then when I finally got done building to this point, I started like, oh, hey, there's a slope. And as you can see to the left, that part of the parking lot is a little higher than the rest of it, which I will get sloped down and everything like that. And we do get it somewhat to the way it should in real life. But it still was a bit difficult for me to go ahead and do all that. So I kind of made some little adjustments. I kind of put like a downside ramp, as you can see over here, next to this area, just to kind of, still give it the real life look, but yet, still be able to get it within the confines of the game to make it work within the game. So it's not an exact brick for brick recreation because of that, but for the most part, I think it's a pretty good representation of the Rosenblatt Stadium, or not the stadium itself, but the infield at the zoo. Next thing you see here, we're doing the dugout, or the ball pit, I guess you could call it. I'm not the best with baseball terminology, so you have to forgive me. I watched a few minor leagues here in my local area, but other than that, I'm not a huge baseball fan by any means, so if that offends you, my bad. But yeah, here we're kind of doing the dugout, and the bullpen area, I guess you could call it. Well, no, it's not the bullpen, it's the dugout, where the players kind of sit underneath by the bleachers, or where they sit during the game when they're not playing. So, nonetheless, we used a lot of the gritter pieces here, or the beam which I think really makes it work very well. And I'll tell you, it was selecting it all when it comes down to like the bleachers and stuff to replicate it. Oh wow, I tell you, that was a pain in the rear, because I kept on deselecting it, and then I got to go back in and reselect it and everything like that. And I try to get everything as symmetrical as possible. I'm a very symmetrical guy. I like things to be, if it's going to be on the left side, I want it to be exactly the same on the right side. It's just something with my OCD. I don't know if I have OCD, but if I do, that's pretty much what it comes down to. That's my perfection flaw, I guess you could call it. So, I did actually end up capturing what I was going for, but yeah, it did take a little bit of time. So, nonetheless, we did start using the new European pieces, and I was going to originally just use the flags, and then I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh, the flags that are in the park are metal. It just so happens we had that in the game. So we used the metal flags, and yes, they are pointing in different directions because that's the way they are in real life. So, which threw me off. I'm like, oh, why is that one pointing that direction? Okay. That works, I guess. So yeah, the other thing that I came about learning with this build was to try and get away from grid building. I try to, when I do these things, I try to get everything on the same grouping. And when you're doing two separate grids, it's pretty difficult to do that. And the reason why I do that is more for the purpose of being able to save blueprints. It's a lot easier to save a blueprint when everything is grouped together versus having to highlight everything or select it all and create a blueprint that way. Or, I mean, I suppose I could do the whole habitat blueprint, but as much as I refrain to trying to do those, just because I always have issues with placing them when it comes to terrain and modifications and stuff like that. For whatever reason, I just have that issue. So if anyone knows how to get around that, let me know. But anyways, doing the modular aspect that you see here, it caused some issues with the corners, which, it irritated me like no other. I don't even know. So eventually what I ended up doing was just kind of deleting the part of the front part here, which you're going to see here in a little bit, and I kind of did a curved with the panels. Now it's not exactly the way it is in real life, but what I end up doing, I mean, it still captures what we were going for. So as you can see here, we're doing the curve, and I'm doing it again on the other side, and it does actually work out. It works out very nicely. Nonetheless, I think it did turn out pretty decent. And of course, one thing that we got to make sure we have in my builds is, of course, those blue billboards, which you're going to see here in just a minute. And I was able to pull a image from the infield at the zoo off of Google and create my own billboard for custom signage. So that was kind of a nice aspect there. So yeah, there it is right there. Wahoo! All my billions of blueprints scrolling through all those. There we go. So yeah, I think that worked out pretty nicely. It fit right in there. Now, I found a technique with the billboards that I'm going to try later on. Is basically doing a clear PNG and just putting that on top of a texture of the wall behind it. So that's something I'm learning how to do. I saw Lion Rider do that during his stream when he was showing off one of his zoos, and I definitely want to try and do that as well. I think it was like the San Lobos Zoo or whatever he was doing. So as for foliage and stuff like that and landscaping, I'm pretty sure I did landscaping, which it didn't show in this video, so I can't remember, to be honest. So we're going to be seeing that in the B-roll here in just a few minutes here. Nonetheless, I'm kind of excited for that aspect because I haven't been in the Omaha Zoo file in over a week with all the new projects. So with that being said, I guess we're all going to find out here in a few minutes if I did landscaping. So So yeah, so we'll be getting into the B-roll here in just a few seconds here. We just got about 10 seconds left of this footage here, and yeah. So nonetheless, yeah, I guess all I can say is here we go. Alright, and here we are with the B-roll, or the live walkthrough as many people refer to as, and it's the Rosenblatt Stadium. And, you know, embarrassing as it is, I obviously did not finish it, so nonetheless, it's not going to be on the Steam Workshop anytime soon, but probably by the end of this week, I should have this finished and have that on the Steam Workshop for you. So, you know, I definitely will say it has turned out very nicely, though, and the new European pack has definitely been very instrumental in making this build possible. For example, we have the Animal Talk railings here, which obviously needs to be lifted up and moved around a bit. And of course, we have these right here were made out of the LED sign supporters, which is really great here, and were easy to use. So nonetheless, with that being said, I'm happy on how it's starting to turn out. Now, and then of course the bases, these weren't even possible. We probably would have had to use like the small squares, but these are just the gondola cushions here, which are really cool here. Now, as for the benches and everything, I suppose I could have used a mod, but there, you know, there wasn't really a lot of mods in place. Like I could have I maybe use this one for example. I don't know. I don't even know. So, but yeah. Anyways, it's definitely looking really. Yeah, I suppose I could have used that. I don't know. I don't even know. No, probably not. I think I played around with it and I decided not to. But yeah. So nonetheless, like I said, I think it's turning out very, very nicely done and so forth. The sign did actually turn out better than what I anticipated. Obviously, there still needs to be a little bit more of a little adjustments to it, but eventually we're going to have landscaping through here and some lighting and so forth like that, and it's going to look really, really good when it's all completed. So, like I said, be on the lookout for the Steam Workshop for that. And then as well, the other thing that I didn't show in the video, and I'll just kind of show you now, we did get the front entrance zoo sign done, which is kind of nice there. I think that definitely turned out. It looks pretty much exactly the way it is in real life. And then, like I said in a previous video, in the first episode, I do want to kind of capture the surrounding neighborhood as well. So we're going to be building houses and stuff along this street. And this is one of the iconic things along the street, is the Oasis ice cream. And I tell you what, if you're ever in Omaha, this is a good place to get some ice cream after a long visit at the zoo. So, and you know, it's just a shell, nothing too crazy. So you could actually put, I don't know, a shop here if you wanted to, or if you want to put this in your zoo, you could do that avenue, or you could also go ahead and, I don't know, maybe use the shop counters right here, so guests can actually walk in this area. So yeah, I mean, I think it's turning out very, very nicely for what we have so far. So other than that, the other thing that we did build in here, I did use my utility pack to go ahead and create a little substation here that's along the area. I'm not quite sure what this building is actually for, to be honest, but yeah, it is there. And then of course there'll be another building in this area as well when we get there. Oh, hey, look, we got a floating tree. Apparently trees float in Omaha. So yeah, nonetheless, the parking lot is looking great for the most part. We got a lot more coming with the parking lot. Like I said, I'm probably going to refrain from using any of the car blueprints and so forth like that. But you know, since we are going to be using mods in here, I may just go ahead and commission someone to try and make some cars for me. I did actually reach out to Nicholas Lionrider, but I know he's really busy and he just made some plushies and stuff like that, which should be coming out here within the next week or so. But so nonetheless, I don't think he's willing to go that distance. So if there's any modders out there that's willing to maybe do a small car pack for me or something like that I could commission you for, that'd be greatly appreciated. Just reach out to me on Steam or on Discord. So, but yeah, so other than that, I did already start the front entrance area, which maybe I'll give you a sneak peek. Let's see. You know what? Nope. I may just give you a little sneak peek here in a few minutes. So, all right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. So, till next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're a first-time viewer, make sure you subscribe. Like this video if you love the Omaha Zoo along with others speed builds. Until next time, build, play, and enjoy. This is Jayrassic signing out. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you smash that like button and put a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to my weekly release content. You can follow me on Steam, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, and now even Facebook. Until next time, build, play,